Sales and performance metrics are important statistics the buyers use on a daily basis to determine areas of opportunity and liability. This video will introduce you to sell-through and weeks of supply and how they are used to evaluate performance. These two metrics are used daily, but are also a key performance metric that is used in evaluating the success of a program over a season and planning for the future. So retailers use a variety of methods to plan stocks. After the planned sales are established, these are two of the metrics that we will be discussing today: sell-through percent and weeks of supply. So let's begin with sell-through. Sell-through is calculated on styles of products and takes into account the inventory that is purchased, the amount of product or inventory sold, expressed as a percent, sold through from the original amount. The formula that we use is sell-through equals the total of units or dollars sold for style divided by the total number of units received. So let's just go through a very simple calculation of sell-through. You begin with 120 t-shirts. You sell 35 t-shirts. Units sold, which are 35 divided by the total units you begin with, which is 120, equals our sell-through percent. So our sell-through percentages is 29.2%. So let's take this example a little bit further and break it down. So we're going to look at the color performance of t-shirts. The overall sell-through on the item was 29.2%. Which color had the highest sell-through? Black. Black had a 35.7% sell-through. 15 units sold divided by 42 units on hand equals 35.7. We have now determined that black had the highest sell-through. Red had the second highest, and white had the lowest sell-through. Now, this is an example of how sell-through is used to evaluate the performance of styles at the end of a program. There were 3 silhouettes in the cashmere sweater program, and based upon this information, we are going to calculate sell-through. The first thing we need to do is determine how many units were received. So we add our on-hand plus our sales, and that will tell us how many units we have received. So here, you have now calculated the units that you have received by the 3 styles. Next step, we want to calculate our sell-through. We divide our units sold by our total units to begin with, and this will calculate sell-through. As you can see here, we have now calculated sell-through based upon that formula. And now we have determined which silhouette has the highest sell-through. The turtleneck. The turtleneck had an 87% sell-through. And which silhouette had the lowest sell-through? The crew neck. So as you're looking at your business for the future, you may need to determine, do I need all 3 styles? And in this particular case, you may decide you do not need all 3 styles. But at the same time, you're going to want to look at how many units were sold. The crew neck did sell the most amount of units. So next we're going to look at weeks of supply as a sales performance metric. This calculation is based on how many weeks of inventory will be available if the same rates of sales continue. The formula used is total units inventory divided by unit sales equals weeks of supply. So here is our simple example. We have 120 t-shirts and I sell 35 t-shirts. We divide our inventory, 120, by our sales, 35, and that tells us we have 3.4 weeks of supply. If we maintain the same sales, we will have inventory to sell for 3.4 weeks. So here, we're going to use this to determine which style is performing the best. So we have 3 sales that just came into our inventory. And based on weeks of supply, we want to determine which style is performing the best. We're going to apply our formula, total units of inventory divided by total sales equals weeks of supply. We can now see that style 1 had the fastest weeks of supply. If we continue to sell at this rate, we will be out of inventory in 1.7 weeks. And the second highest or fastest week of supply is style number 3. And here, style number 2 has the slowest weeks of supply. You have 7.4 weeks of supply. So style 1 will run out of inventory first. So you're now going to complete the worksheet and this quiz. Both of these are due Wednesday or Thursday, and you're going to be solving problems similar to this and then answering questions. And that's it. That's the end of weeks to supply and sell through. Bye.